So this is going to be a demonstration on how to do the advanced version of the pencil exercise. So part of the reason why I'm having you guys do another pencil exercise this year is because they made some drastic changes to the pencil in Illustrator. So I just wanted to make sure you guys get a good, comfortable feel with how the pencil works now. In my honest opinion, though, I think it works a little bit easier now. But I've been noticing like things that have been inconsistent or things that aren't working. So, hopefully I can kind of like address those issues if they happen to come up, though. But so to locate your advanced pencil, again, this is for computer graphics too. You're gonna click on your classroom, classwork, and I'm gonna click on this classwork advanced pencil exercise. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna click on the image, and this is gonna be this pencil exercise is gonna be a little bit differently than last year. I'm actually gonna have you guys do a value study um, of this hat, and essentially, we're gonna do like what we did with your vector portraits, where we're just basically going to be tracing the shapes of those values. So it's a little bit more advanced. Pretty much you're gonna jump straight into like what we did last year in terms of like the process of like creating your values. So you're going to click on it, open new window, and then I'm gonna have you download the it's gonna be a PNG file. So just open up the PNG file and locate it in your downloads folder. And then when you go into Illustrator, you're gonna have to create a completely new file just because. I guess you could click and drag it in there, but it's better making a new file just because sometimes we could just click it in there. So what I would do is just click and drag this into Illustrator, and then it should be fine. Oh yeah, one of these you have to adjust the artboard. So just remember you can click on artboard here and just adjust it here to match the paper that you're working on. But once you set up these things, then you can get started. So layer one, I would just lock the layer. You can just title it an image. That way you can't click on it or mess with it by accident. And then just make a new layer and just tell it your values, because essentially we're just gonna be tracing your values right now. All right, so pretty much what we're gonna do is we're gonna just again zooming in, zooming out is command plus, command minus. I'm just gonna zoom in a little closely, and yeah, we're just getting into it. So let me just put this to the side. Okay, so now to shade the values, it's like the same way we did before. I'm gonna have you guys use the eyedrop tool. And again, eyedrop tool is gonna allow you to just like pick those colors real quickly. So you can start off with any colors you want. But just real important though, the easiest way of approaching the values or any of the colors is you always want to go with the things that are in more in detail first, like the smaller shapes you want to first start off with, and then work on like the larger shapes. The reason why it works that way is because a lot of times we have to move things in the front and the top of the layers. So it's a lot easier if you kind of like just work on like things that are in detail and then move things to the front. But you can always work around it. It's just gonna be a little more difficult. You try the larger things. So I'm just gonna eye drop the top of the hat here first, and just use the pencil here. So one thing you'll notice is different is it actually just clicks and drags for you. See, if you click and drag it, it's going to make your curve. And then it's gonna like show you kind of like how that curve is gonna go if you were to click and hold it. But remember, just you always want to click on the last point to finalize the curve. So click and drag, and that'll finalize the shape of the hat. And then you do Command Shift A to deselect once you're done. But pretty much you're gonna shade in all those areas. So again, use the eyedrop tool. Click on the small shape here, and I'm gonna do the same thing as well. You might need to zoom in closely just to see it. So click up here, click down here, click and drag and make a curve, and then click on the last point. So just remember to always click on the last point when you do those things. Then click and drag, make a curve, and that should finish up that shape. Alright, so basically you're just gonna be tracing all those different values. So I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm just gonna work on a bigger shape. And, I'm just working on like these shapes that are next to each other. So you don't have to guess these colors. It's kind of like there for you. Okay, one thing I did want to show you though is since we've kind of like worked on the things that are in like detail first, we can actually move the shape behind it. So I can just continue to make a shape around here. And again, this one shape that I'm making is gonna go behind everything when I use my hotkeys. So I'm just gonna make my curve here. Finish this line over here. Oh, another thing too is if you can't really see your lines, you might want to just flip it over right now. You can also do Shift X2 to flip it, and this will allow you to see the lines better. Because that part I couldn't really see that well, but you hit Command X to flip it over. Okay, but if you look at it though, this shape is covering the two shapes that I have here. So just make sure to fix these, make these adjustments. And the way you would do that is you would hold the Shift key, and then you would use one of the bracket keys. So I'm gonna give you guys like a hotkeys to flip things back and forth, but it's one of the bracket keys. This is like below the the plus and the minus keys. All right, but pretty much I'm gonna continue with the same thing. So over here, I work on the next shape. I use the eyedrop tool again. Move on this shape, and I'm just gonna trace it around here again. And again, you have that option of like tracing on the line, or you can overlap it a little bit and just send it in the back. Again, I'm just tracing these lines. But yeah, that's pretty much all you're going to be doing. Tracing all the values. Now, if you notice though, there are some parts a little bit inconsistent. So like right here, if I were to, you can always click on, use the direct selection tool, click on the line. You can either click on the curve to fix a little bit more, or click on the point. Or, oops, click on the point, click on the shape, the point, and then you can be able to manipulate it a little bit around. Just try your best to get it as perfect as possible. It's not gonna look exactly like the outline that I did, but you want to just make sure to fill in those white gaps. That's gonna be something you're gonna have to do like at the very end, is to fill in those white gaps. But I mean, you kind of get the idea though. We just keep working on the shapes. Just doing them one at a time. I would just work on the smaller ones first. So I'm gonna do this light gray here. Just gonna go here, over there, make my curve here. Just go all the way around. And Command Shift A. Next shape, use this color. But all those different values help to make the shape and the form of the hat. So you always want to, and if I can't really see it too well, like I can't see it there, I can do Shift X. But I'll just change it to an outline first, and then I can fill it in. Command Shift or Shift X, I'll fill it again. Again, I get those little gaps. But you can kind of fix the gaps at the very end. I'm just showing you right now, just in case, you get to the end, and you're just wondering like, how do I fix these little gaps? You can overlap them. I have to click on the shape, the point, move it around. Yeah, but you get the idea though. But you're gonna do this for all the values until you've completed your hat.